So the Chicago Bears just made a flurry of signings, and we're talking about adding three guys to this squad. Just signed veteran wide receiver Miles Boykin and veteran defensive back Sean Wade, both to one-year contracts. And I'm going to talk about these two signings. They're not insignificant, but the main addition to this team that I want to highlight is the signing of journeyman backup quarterback Case Keenum. Once again, a one-year, $3 million contract. Now, this is significant because this team is all about veterans mentoring the young. And we've now got an experienced starter as a mentor to not only Caleb Williams, but Tyson Bagent as well. And Case Keenum just spent 2 years in Houston, really providing the same service to CJ Stroud, and that worked really well. And this is a bit of a contrast, right? Mentorship last year, it was in the form of veteran coaches, mixed results. I know we don't have to get into that. But with that, the rostered players were all lower on experience because we had a 2-year guys to back up in Bagent, another rookie in Austin Reed. And looking at Keenan, across his career in the pros, we're looking at 79 touchdowns, 51 interceptions while completing 62.3% of his passes. And we're looking at his best season. That was back in 2017. He was with the Vikings. That's when the guy threw for 22 touchdowns and 7 picks, while also completing a career best 67.6% of his throws, totaling 3,547 yards. I'm going to bring this up from Shefty just for a visual. That year, he went 11-3 as the Vikings starting quarterback and led them to the NFC Championship game. Now, the guy has just 4 starts since 2020, but we're looking at just a really vast experience level to draw upon in the league. It makes him a valuable player to have in the locker room as well. So we're kind of looking at presumably Keenan. He's going to compete with incumbent second-string quarterback Tyson Bagent. I hope his dad kind of butts out, but that's for another day. And that's for the right to be Caleb Williams' primary backup in Chicago. We're looking at Bagent going 2-2 and 4 starts for the Bears in 2023. Didn't start any games last year. So Bagent's been able to fill in a pinch, but having this older mentorship on the team, I think it's just going to make all the difference. Kind of a little more on Keenan, and then we're going to move on. Keenum's 8th NFL franchise since entering the league. He was actually an undrafted rookie in 2012, same as Tyson Bagent. He's appeared in 80 games, 66 starts, started 2 games for the Texans in 2023, but for the most part, he spent his time as a third-string quarterback behind Stroud and then later backup Davis Mills. So I think this is a really good fit. I think it's a really good signing, and we finally have like some quality mentorship for Caleb Williams, including the coaching staff, which looks to be top-notch. So let's kind of check out some of these other signings, and we can start with Miles Boykin. I mean, if the guy makes this roster, I think it's going to be on special teams. Maybe he's a little bit more than that, though. We're looking at he's 28 years old, spent 2 seasons in Pittsburgh, and that was primarily as a special teams ace. This guy is a huge asset, and he's basically a gunner. He was viewed as one of the best punt and punt returner players on the roster, and he held a really strong place on the team because of it. He operated in Danny Smith's scheme, and he's a really good special teams coach. Then we're looking at what he brings on offense, and he's formerly from Notre Dame. He was used mostly as a run blocker, but he really excelled at it, and we know that that's what head coach Ben Johnson is looking for, especially in his fringe wide receivers and offensive players. It's a thought of no block, no rock, right? He wants these receivers especially to do the dirty work, run block, pass block, do all the things that they should be doing. And with that, Boykin might be an asset. He might be more than just like a returner, more than just a special teams ace. So kind of looking at his time in Pittsburgh, they moved on, but for the 2 seasons he was there, he really became a staple of that roster. The coaching staff certainly relied on him in tough situations. So we're looking at Boykin. He's joining the Bears in 2025 after totaling 73 career games played, 25 starts for the Ravens from 19 to 21, and then Pittsburgh for 22 to 23. And then he kind of bounced around last year. He spent part of the season on the practice squads of the New York Giants and the Seattle Seahawks. So He was originally a third-round selection, 93rd overall by Baltimore in 19. 38 career receptions on offense, 498 yards, a 13.1 yard average. That's pretty good. And also 7 touchdowns as well as 17 special teams tackles. So I think once again, if he makes this team, it's going to be on special teams. I think it's worth to look at it. I think it's worth it to look at his college career just a little bit. We're looking at, he's actually a local guy. He's from Tinley Park. He appeared in 37 career games over his 4 seasons at the University of Notre Dame. And that seems like a long time ago, but it's not. 2015 to 2018. During his college career, he totaled 1,206 yards, 77 receptions, a healthy 15.7 yard average, 11 receiving scores, and then he actually had 8 in his final season, and that led to his draft stock rising, and he was able to get drafted in the 3rd round. So he might be an asset, but primarily on special teams. So then let's kind of shift over to Wade. Shaun Wade, like Boykin, the guy was also drafted by the Ravens, and he was actually selected in the 5th round in 21. He's a little younger. And I think he's here to compete primarily as a depth piece. I mean, we've had guys like Jalen Johnson leaving the team, and he might actually fit in here. I think competition's a good thing, right? This guy might be a camp body, but Wade didn't play a single snap originally for the Ravens, and then he was traded to the Patriots prior to the regular season. And this is where he just kind of caught on with the Patriots. He's a big corner. He has really nice length, and he really tracks the ball well, but he's got kind of average speed. And also, he hasn't put it together more than this singular season in New England that I'm going to talk about. So when he came to the Patriots in 21 and 22, he really saw limited action, not a lot of play. But then it got to 2023, and that's when he performed really, really well. And I think this might be what caught the Bears' eyes because he really performed well. He played in 14 games with 6 starts, and he finished that season with 23 total tackles, 1 pass breakup, and then he just couldn't put it together for another season. He spent 24 with the LA Chargers, stayed on their practice squad, and he's really here to compete for a job in this backup secondary for the Bears. And these are just the training camp guys that the Bears are adding. And if they catch on, that's really great, right? Kind of a little more on Wade just to be thorough. He entered the league as a 5th round selection, 160th overall by the Ravens once again. He's appeared in 20 career games, 6 starts, all with the New England Patriots. And we're looking at him being a native of Jacksonville, Florida. And in college, he's an Ohio State guy from 17 to 20. He had 35 career games played, 19 starts for the Buckeyes, and he really capped his time in college as a consensus All-American in 2020. He had Big Ten Conference Defensive Back of the Year honors as well. So he was no slouch in college. Let's see how he catches on with the Bears, and I just absolutely love these ads for competition. I think Boykin really fits the profile of what Ben Johnson's looking for, but really the most significant one is the signing of Case Keenum. I think he's going to be a really good mentor in the locker room. He's going to be a really good influence on Caleb Williams and Tyson Bagent. And I think these are solid signings. You guys let me know, Bear Down, and we will talk tomorrow as I always give you Bears news on the daily. See ya.